And you're very welcome back. And that was the beautiful voice of Sophie Doran, who plays Nancy in the forthcoming production of Oliver in the Millenium Forum. And as promised, joining me in the studio tonight, I have got Judith O'Hare, who's chairperson of the LMS in Derry. I've got Curran O'Connor, who plays the role of Fagin. And I have Sophie Doran, who plays the role of Nancy. Folks, you are very, very welcome tonight.
Good evening, Jean. How are you?
And as I said before, we've shared the boards before, Kieran, Jesus Christ Superstar here in Letterkenny, and I'm looking forward to seeing you as Fagin in Jesus Christ, or in Oliver now.
That's a bit different, Jean. 7 years ago, hard to believe, but yeah, that I think I will be playing the role of Fagin maybe 7 years later, not so much, but you're looking forward to it. Really, really enjoying it.
Fantastic. And Judith, you are the chairperson, and the LMS in Derry goes back decades.
Yes, we started in 62, autumn 62, so I think the first show was in 63, and it's started off with Gilbert Sullivan. A lot of the early shows were most of the early shows were in the Guildhall. And then during the 70s, a few years during the just couldn't perform any shows in the city in the mid-70s, so there was a few lapsed years there. Then we went back to the Rialto, the old cinema, and St Column's Hall, but we've been in the Millenium Forum now since 2002, I think, was our first show in Millenium Forum, and we've been there more or less ever. We had one show in the Waterside Theatre. It's a great venue, the Forum. So it's the 61st year of the society, and we've had a tremendous community support, supported by business advertisers and patrons, and it seems to be, we've done Oliver, it's the third time we've done Oliver, and you have to sort of replenish your talent every so often, every few years. So we've a marvellous group of children, the 35 children, and including, of course, we have a wonderful principal lineup this year, particularly. We're very fortunate with our production team. We have Michael Poole, who's course coordinator in drama in the Tech, and Michael is able to, sometimes young men are hard to encourage to come into Music Society, but Michael seems to be able to always get us a few extra men. Vanessa Chapman's our long time choreographer, and she's just so full of new ideas and encouragement, even for those of us who aren't really good dancers. And Peter Doherty is our MD, and Peter's always very enthusiastic and great attention to detail. So we're hoping that it's all starting to come together.
And have you been rehearsing long now? I suppose since
started in January. Started in January, and just about the 6th of January, just after maybe the 7th of January. The children were in first, and adult chorus, we hadn't just seen them for a few weeks, and they were just brilliant. The first time we saw Food, Glorious Food, they picked it up so quickly. But they've been working very hard. Then the adult chorus and principals have been twice, 3 times, 2 or 3 times a week since January. So we're getting towards the last stage now, getting it all put together, running the show. So it's a very exciting time. And
you were telling me just before we went on air that there's a number of Donegal people in the cast, and the kids as well.
We're delighted. Well, Sophie here is from Inch originally. She lives in Bridgend now, and we're delighted to have Sophie. So we have Rosie and Sunny, who are sisters. Leon is from Newton Cunningham. Alton, Annie, Holly. There's a Rosha as well, and Lily May. So they're from Buncrana and Carndona and various parts of Donegal. Then Leon is Newton Cunningham. So people are travelling from all over, and then we have a big group there's obviously people from the city, Dungiven, and then there's Limavady, Ballykelly, Castle Rock, Portrush, Coleraine. I mean, it's great tribute to the society and to the encouragement and enthusiasm of the members that they travel from far and wide to take part in the show. We're delighted with that too.
And Kieran, you've been on stage for over 20 years, and you played Jesus Christ Superstar here in Letterkenny, and you were in Kinky Boots as well, and Fagin is a completely different role for you.
It is. Definitely has been a challenge. I started at the start of January with all the kids, because obviously I'm heavily involved with over 40 kids in this production, which I have to say, talk about being kept on your toes. I definitely have been. They are mesmerising. They're fantastic. And yes, it's my 20th year actually now doing shows, and my first time really working with such a large volume of children, and they are just a delight. It has been a real privilege, and to be able to actually witness what they're going to bring next week to the Millenium Forum stage is going to be it's going to make it all worthwhile for me. You know, I'm really looking forward, yes, to bringing Fagin to life, but also to watch these 40 children do their thing. It's going to be brilliant, Jean, you know.
And as well, just from your little blog, that you were artistic director there in Lumen Christi and their production of Cinderella. Did you find it different from being on stage to be directing it?
Totally different, totally different. It actually came off the back of a musical director who would do a lot of the productions down here, Mark Bradley, who you're probably aware of. Mark's one of the teaching staff up there, and I came to his mind in 2022 in the early part of it to take on the artistic directing role of the Lumen Christi production of Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella. I thought, am I able to do this? But yeah, you know what? I stepped up and I was looking at it from a total different perspective, and really threw myself into it, and tried to approach it with as much commitment and as much of a visual enthusiasm as I possibly could, and really, really enjoyed it. Again, it was just great to watch these young people, many of them who it was their first time on the stage, bring something to life, and it was a great experience for me. I would love to be able to look at it from that angle again maybe someday if God's good, but sure, we're looking at Oliver now and we have to deliver Fagin in a week and a half's time, and he's playing havoc in the voice, but listen, we're getting there, and really looking forward to it, really am.
Great. And Sophie, you're playing the role of Nancy, and it's not your first time on stage with the LMS in Derry.
It's not, no. I've performed a few times now with the LMS, and that's with the chorus, or not the chorus, the choir. We would do Showstoppers choir, and my very first show was in the chorus with the King and I back in 2012. That's going back, even thinking about it. And even some of the cast members that we're performing with now in Oliver, when they were in the King and I, they were only about 6 or 7, and they're all adults now, so it's crazy to see how they're still in the society as well, and you know, developing their wee interests in it. So it's just wonderful to see the society. It's a brilliant opportunity for people of all ages to become involved. And the arts, especially maybe if you have your wee classes at the weekend and you're wanting to maybe go on stage and put on a big show, you know, it's a brilliant opportunity. And as Judith was mentioning, you have Michael, you have Peter and Vanessa, and they are just a fantastic guidance, and they give some brilliant skills. And I mean, this is free as well. You know, you know, you have a wee membership fee, but like, you're getting all this training in a week out basis, and it's priceless. It's brilliant for them. So yes, I'm delighted to be back this year playing Nancy. It's a very exciting role. It's one of those roles that I've definitely wanted to play for a long time, and I'm delighted that I've been cast. Very, very exciting. She's a baddie in a way, but she becomes the hero. So I get to be nice, and I get to be a wee bit cheeky at times. So it's a very fun role. But yes, very excited now.
And a very different role from the 9 to 5 Dorothy that you played last year.
Well, polar opposite ends, I'd say. A great show last year as well. Absolutely, it was a very fun, uplifting show this year, but or last year, but it's very, very different this year. You know, Oliver, I think it has a wee bit of everything. There, you know, you have comedy scenes, you have the heartfelt, meaningful scenes, and then you know the kids and everything. It's a brilliant show. I couldn't say anything but good words about it now. Well,
we just heard you singing As Long As He Needs Me, and wow, what a performance. And if it's like that recorded, I'm sure it's going to be even better live in the Millennium. But you've been performing since 4, and you've been on TV, so you've quite a lot of experience, Sophie.
I'm really lucky, and I have no one to thank better, I suppose, than my parents. When I was young, they were just amazing. You know, that they backed me 100. Anything I wanted to do, and anything at all, they give me every opportunity with my lessons, and you know, they waited rehearsals for hours for me. You know, I'm so thankful to them. And even then, when I was younger, performing with the LMS, they would bring me in from, as I say, Judith, I'm from Donegal, so that they would take me into Derry, and you know, I'm really, 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 really thankful. So I've been blessed. And then when I was studying in NWRC, Michael, our director, so he was actually one of my lecturers, and again, his teaching was just fantastic. So I've learned so many skills from him, and then I was fortunate enough to be signed with Nova Artists just after finishing. So I've had a lot of great opportunities to do some professional work there as well. So I am very, very, very blessed, very lucky.
Fantastic. And Judith, we've got Fagan and we've got Nancy here, and Oliver. Like I know whenever I've been in 2 productions of Oliver myself, I was Mrs. Bedwin, and like the children to find they're all so fabulous. It must have been a pretty hard task just to get the Oliver.
Yes, there's a little boy called David Langan who is really getting into the role. He's the most beautiful voice, and he's very dedicated wee boy again. His parents are so good at bringing him. His brother is actually in the cast. He's playing Charlie Bates, one of the other children. But for a 10-year-old boy, you know, he's so mature, but he's really enjoying himself. And then our Dodger, we're very fortunate. It's actually a girl who's playing Dodger, Francesca Kelly. Both her parents are very. Her mother is an actress, and her father Morris is a musician, a musical director, who has directed Society's Need, runs the Northwest Orchestra. They're involved with Allegri, their music group. But Francesca's their daughter, and she's a wonderful girl. She just loves her singing and dancing and her character role. And you know, the children will just they react so well with Fagan and with Nancy and with the other characters. It'll be a joy to get it all on stage. Mm-hmm. Really will.
And it's such a family show as well, like, you know, because of the children. You've got all the grannies and all the aunts and uncles that are coming to see it, and it's an uplifting show, like Papa and songs like that, and it's as Sophie said, it's sad and it's funny, and it's, you know, it's
there's something for everyone in it. I mean, Charles Dickens was such a wonderful writer. I mean, I think for a lot of musicals, you need to be really successful, you need a good story. Mm-hmm. And there's no better writer of a script than himself. And then Lionel Bart's music has really lifted it. But even like this year, I've been in the show twice before, but there are different touches. Each time, each director brings a different slant to it, you know, and it's very exciting to. You can never tire of it, I suppose what I'm trying to say.
So this kicks off now on the 20th.
So we're in the Forum, we're in the 20th of Wednesday, the 20th of March until Saturday, the 23rd of March at 7:30 p.m. And there's a matinee on the Saturday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. So tickets are available from Millenium Forum. They have a website and box office. If you will I give you the www.millenniumforum.co.uk. Millennium is 2 L's and 2 M's, and their number, I'll hold it up here. Kieran could maybe say it as so too.
If you just hold it, Kieran, because I've got a better view of you.
Better view of the. Oh, you want me to hold it?
Yeah,
You hold it. Yeah.
So there you go.
How's that for you all there?
Phone numbers on the website.
There, Oliver.
Tickets available.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, the best of luck with it.
Thank you, Jean.
And many thanks for taking time out tonight to come in and speak to us here on Highland.
Well, thank you
very
much,
Jean. Thank you.
The effects of personal debt problems